Fernando Rosario. I am the Director of Environmental Engineering Program. We're excited to have you join us remotely to celebrate the great achievement of graduating. First, I'd like to introduce the Chair of the Department of Civil, Environmental, Architectural Engineering, Professor Balaji.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Professor Rosario Ortiz. Good morning. I'm Professor Rajagopalan Balaji, Chair of the Department of Civil, Environmental, and Architectural Engineering. It's my privilege and great pleasure to extend a warm welcome to all of you to this truly memorable, and I mean memorable in many ways, graduation ceremony. On the Zoom platform here with me are some of our beloved faculty, esteemed guest speaker, and the outstanding graduating students from whom you will hear shortly. Our heartfelt thanks to proud parents, to families and friends of our graduates, to dedicated faculty, staff, and to our alumni. Some of you are joining us from afar, even halfway around the globe. Thank you very much for being here. You may not be here in person with us, but you are in our minds and hearts. Graduation marks a joyful end of a journey filled with challenges, sacrifices, perseverance, and exhilaration. More so for this class. We are very happy and proud to have been a small part of your journey. Class of 2021, you have long waited for this day, and you deserve to hold enormous pride. You are a historic class that made it to graduation, facing enormous additional challenges due to the global pandemic. Your presence here today with your achievements offers all of us hope, inspiration, renewal, and full of possibilities. Beautifully captured by the poet Thomas Hardy in his poem Song of Hope, then let us borrow hope for a gleaming, soon will be streaming, dimmed by no gray, no gray. Charting an inspirational path for all of us, you have made it to the graduating batch of 2021. Hearty congratulations. This journey would not be possible without the hard work, sacrifice, and support of parents, families, faculty, and mentors. Thank you to all of them. Once again, we may not be here in person to shake your hands, to give you hugs and celebrate, but after going through a challenging journey together to get to this moment, even Corona cannot deter our spirits, so celebrate we will. With that, again, welcome all of you. So now I'm going to introduce our guest speaker. It is my honor and great pleasure to introduce our esteemed speaker, Dr. Chad Seidel, President and one of the co-founders of Corona Environmental Consulting, LLC, Louisville right here. Chad received his MS and PhD degree in Civil and Environmental Engineering from the University of Colorado at Boulder in 2000 and 2006, respectively, and a bachelor's in Environmental Engineering from Montana Tech. He's a registered professional engineer in multiple states. He also serves as an adjunct faculty at the University of Colorado Boulder, where he was the technical director for the DRISC Center that focused on solving small drinking water systems challenges. Chad and his team serve the water community, addressing water-related public health concerns. Chad is currently directing Corona's efforts in supporting the AWWA, American Water Works Association, stakeholder efforts with current EPA considerations of microbial and DBP rule revisions. In the wake of raising public concerns about drinking water contamination and health risks, Chad was a part of and a contributing author for the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology to ensure the safety of nations' drinking water. Acknowledging the need of magnitude of different environmental risks with each other, as well as against absolute values to make sensible decisions about risk management and regulation. In summary, his work ensures safe and reliable drinking water for all of us. So whenever you open a tap and you drink water from the faucet without having to worry about your health afterwards, you have Chad to thank for. Chad is a passionate supporter of our program and always obliges to help our students. His connections to our program are deep and personal. As you can see, he was one of our own graduate. He's a dedicated mentor and advocate for many students and young professionals to help them be successful and motivated in their careers. Above all, his enthusiasm is always inspiring. He's a warm, thoughtful individual full of ideas, keen insights, and generosity. And by the way, I'm also told that Chad has an unmatchable sweet tooth and loves donuts like some of us do. So please welcome the sweet and the warm one and only Dr. Chad Seidel. Chad, take it away.
Thanks much, Balaji. That's awesome. It's awesome. My wife, who knows me well, obviously, being a type 1 diabetic and loving sweets, she calls it a sweet fang, not a sweet tooth. But would love to share those things with you all anytime. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for that warm introduction. Really privileged to give some remarks here. Just noting it's a beautiful day here in Boulder County, connecting here from my home in Lafayette, Colorado, where I've been sitting in this chair. And if I didn't have this virtual background up, you would see I'm sitting in my bedroom, which I've been doing for the last 15 months, like many of you have as well. But I think back to what it was like when I showed up in Boulder in August of 1998 and fondly remember walking across campus from my apartment from the Hill, lived on the Hill, which was a heck of an experience, cross campus to the engineering center to start my classes for my master's degree program. Little did I know what would transpire over those next 23 years. I was struck by the beauty of this place. Boulder's an amazing place to go to school, to live, to make friends, build community, and that's still the same today. But I'm pretty amazed by the change that we've experienced around the world. And so for you taking these steps with graduation and embarking upon this next stage of your life, I just want to congratulate you. It's an amazing accomplishment, and you're going to do amazing things going forward. But given the circumstances, I first just want to recognize you've been living through some unbelievably tough realities. This hasn't been an easy season, really for any of us, and it's worth lamenting those hard things. COVID changed our world in a lot of ways. Nobody would want to be doing graduation virtually. Let's just recognize virtual graduation is lame. And if any of you want to do this over, just send me an email. We'll grab coffee, apparently donuts. We can do this in person when the time comes. But it's okay to lament those things. You know, missing out on the in-person aspects of what school is all about. In-person classes, labs, all those all-nighters working to finish projects. You had to do those in different ways, more remotely, but I'm encouraged by your determination to endure through that and make it work in the circumstances. That takes a lot, and it's going to shape how you work in the future and how you connect with one another in ways that we couldn't have imagined before we got there. I also want to recognize, our country and communities reckoning with racial injustice and our needs to continue to press into that and come together, loving and serving all of those in our communities. We've got more to do there. And that's been a signature moment for those of you, and will certainly mark your memories of how you came through this final year. And much more personally and close to home, I have to recognize the King Soopers tragedy, where we lost 10 loved ones, neighbors, friends. And while that event shook our community, we showed empathy and support for one another, and we're going to keep doing that. Certainly brought back memories of the Columbine tragedy when I was sitting in my apartment on the Hill in my first year here in Boulder. And I still distinctly remember the shock of that and having to turn off the news and walk across campus to class, facing that stark reality that it's up to all of us to make a difference in the lives of those around us. And I was determined to do whatever part I could play at that time. So a little bit about myself. I grew up in the great state of Idaho. There are not many of us from Idaho that come to CU Boulder, I come to find out. But I thought originally I was going to go into politics. Even took a part of my senior year of high school off to go work in the state Senate, which was amazing. I was glad to not only get out of high school for a little bit, even though I had to do my work remotely, But it helped me understand that the people that I thought I wanted to kind of be like and work in politics going forward, those that I respected the most were those who weren't just going to vote their constituency, but really delved into the technical aspects of the decisions they were trying to make. And in the fields that you work in engineering, you have an appreciation that those details matter, and those details can have a significant influence on the way that we make policy decisions at the federal, state, and local levels. So I changed my direction from going to study public policy at the University of Chicago, went to Montana Tech to study environmental engineering in beautiful Butte, Montana. And if any of you have been in Butte, Montana, you can recognize, yes, it's beautiful, but it's also a great place to study environmental engineering because unfortunately, there was lots of environmental challenges at the time from legacy mining and other aspects. And from there, I knew I wanted to do more. I wanted to focus more on environmental resource issues, particularly water. Got accepted to come to CU Boulder, picked it over Stanford and University of Washington because of the great program. But I'll be honest, it was mostly because the skiing is a lot better here. And I knew that that would be a huge opportunity to continue to do what I love. In that sense, I was so fortunate. Great faculty, many of whom I now get to be colleagues with in my adjunct role, that were professors of mine and going through grad school. And I met Scott Summers, who had also just moved to Boulder, frankly, that same week. And in asking about what research I could do going forward, saying, hey, I want to combine technical details with policy decision-making, he gave me the entrance into that world, supporting some EPA drinking water rule development in 2000. And I've been doing that ever since. Since that time, Colorado's become my home. I met my wife at Cornerstone Church in South Boulder. We've got 3 kids that are in the Boulder Valley School District, starting to realize the realities of what it's like having middle schoolers, which is amazing. I will tell you, graduate school doesn't prepare you for that. But they also have some of the same passions. They can ski almost harder than I can anywhere on any of the mountains that we go to. And I'm just so fortunate for the life I've been able to live so far, and the future that I couldn't even imagine when I was sitting where you're sitting today looking ahead. So as Balaji mentioned, I'm president of Corona Environmental Consulting, which was an unfortunate name in the last year and a half. I will tell you, we named the company based upon the corona effect of a solar eclipse where you get light coming around the moon and almost light from darkness. Our point of view is that we're trying to solve problems, but we don't even know what the problem is, let alone what the solutions are, and want to bring new knowledge to the table. Started that in 2013 with 4 great partners. I'm glad to have added 4 new partners this year. And our vision is just to address the problems in the water community that haven't been fully identified, understood, or solved. And having been at this for more than 20 years now, I can tell you those problems, there are more coming, and there are more that are persisting, and we need more great folks like you to help solve those. To date, we now have more than 30 staff across the country. I'm proud to say, including 8 CU buffs, and always looking to add more. I describe us as a motley crew of water nerds, and we're comprised of engineers, scientists, economists, and data architects. And having worked previously in both small and large consulting firms, I'm just grateful that we've been able to build a place that affords us the opportunity to work on some really unique challenges, and they're meaningful. So helping the state of Louisiana respond to the unfortunate deaths from the brain-eating amoeba Naegleria fowleri from drinking water should never happen, and hopefully never will happen again. Or the chemical spill in the Elk River of West Virginia, where 300,000 people had to go without water for quite some time because we didn't understand the science and then the ways to communicate what to do with those impacted communities. More recently, we got to lead the charge for the state of California's statewide needs assessment, identifying and then developing potential solutions and the potential cost to ensure safe and affordable and reliable water for everyone. In California alone, that's a $10 billion price tag. But it's a problem worth solving, and it's a problem worth addressing so everybody can have the water that they deserve. So we're not sitting together, but I want you to just take a virtual look around, imagining those that are participating virtually with you. Here in Colorado, across the US, in countries far and wide, and just appreciate the diversity that we have here. So there's From my count of what I saw in some of the demographics, 110 undergraduates here or this year, 38 master's students, and 9 PhD graduates. Coming from 18 states in the US, 8 countries, and just comparing the community today as with when I arrived here, more women, more racial and ethnic diversity than we've had before, and I see it continuing to grow, and I love that. We are better together as a community of diversity than we've ever been before. And I want to just keep challenging us all and encouraging us all to bring more people to the fold to help address the challenges that we face. And we need diverse engineers to do that. So thinking about those that are virtually around you, and hopefully you'll be back in person with each other not too long from now, think about the friendships that you've made and consider they might become lifelong friendships. Just yesterday, I had lunch with 2 friends who I first met in the first week that I showed up in Boulder. At the time, I thought, man, those guys are way too cool for me. I don't know that I could ever be friends with them. Little did I know that we'd go backpacking that first Labor Day, up almost close to Mount Evans. We had some awesome powder days, snowboarding all over the state. We ended up being in each other's weddings, and we continue to support each other in our personal lives and our careers today. They're doing great stuff, solving really terrific challenges. One of them leads the water program here in Boulder. Another's leading big water projects across the country. And I've got many others beyond that just are still terrific connections, friends, colleagues, and collaborators. The community that you've started to grow today will be there for you, and you should be there for them in the future. So, but you also need to consider your and their current successes and imagine what the future might bring. It's not going to be without challenges. You know, since I graduated, certainly have faced economic ups and downs. We had really significant events since then. And gosh, 9/11 changed the face of the way that we work and the things that we thought were important. Wars that followed shifted the way that we apply resources to them. And we all face our own personal challenges. And so with those things in mind, just be there for one another. Go out of your way to engage with and support others. It's only in that way that we can do that. Another key thing I always love challenging students with is find a way to raise the bar. Now, I don't know exactly where you're working in the details of the research or the studies that you had, but in every one of those examples, there are ways you can come up with new and better ways to work. You know, in my field, I thought I was at the time, so cutting edge with my graduate research that used really innovative tools like Microsoft Access databases and SAS statistical software, which if you looked at it today, you would think, how did you even use that? Because to do Monte Carlo simulations of kind of drinking water predictive scenarios, today you'd use R and Python and connected to cloud-driven databases, and that would put to shame the way that we did things before. You don't know any other way of doing it. And so use those new tools, press into ways to advance the engineering tool sets that we use to solve the problems that our communities face today. Next, I always challenge everybody, put your efforts into the most meaningful problems and opportunities to improve our communities. You know, engineers are truly public servants. While you can make a tremendous living and have a great career in engineering, rarely do people go into engineering to make the most money. It's to truly solve meaningful problems and to make our communities better. And we want to hold ourselves accountable to protecting and improving our communities, public health, and the environment. Engineering is for the common good, and it's all about people. And we need to leverage those relationships and those connections we have with each other around us. So you're entering the world at a moment in time, fortunately, when the public is now recognizing more than ever the need for and the importance of engineered infrastructure. For a long time, it was really easy to just not recognize that the roads were failing maybe as bad as they were, or the bridges, or the buildings, or the certainly the water and wastewater pipes and treatment plants. Even more so, I think the public's recognizing certainly when broadband goes down, and there's a collective increased understanding about that today. You know, the current proposed federal infrastructure package recognizes that we have some significant funding challenges, and in order to solve the real challenges, if and when that funding comes, even more so if it doesn't, it's going to take great engineers to assess those, identify solutions, and see them through to implemented practice. We've got limits on our resources. Everybody always says we don't have enough money. That'll probably always be the case, but that's where the challenge comes and where the opportunity comes. More so, people are the limited resource. You are the limit, and you are now stepping in to fill the gap where that limitation was. You're the human capital, and you've got the opportunity to do more today than any others before you. Not only do you have that opportunity, you have to, because without you stepping into that gap to solve those problems and to bring new solutions, our communities are going to continue to deteriorate in ways that we just don't want. So do the most meaningful things you can. Serve your communities, particularly those who are the least able and the most in need. There are places that you can plug in to do that, no matter where you end up, whether it be working at a consulting firm, international or small little local firm, federal, state, local, government support, technology developers, you name it. The career opportunities in front of you are diverse and are there for the taking. And then bring others into the community. We need more engineers. Pull others into what we do. And in doing so, help them raise the bar for how we work and how we do things. And the problems we face are going to require that. And I know you're up to the challenge. So congratulations on this amazing accomplishment. I cannot wait to see what you do next. Go Buffs.
Thank you very much, Chad, for that wonderful remarks, recapping your time here in Boulder, and then all the impactful work that you're doing with your colleagues. We now like to congratulate our award-winning students. First, we have a student who's honored with a college-wide award. We would like to recognize our student who has earned this prestigious award. The College Engineering Council Silver Medal is awarded to a graduating senior who embodies the values of academic excellence, personal integrity, professionalism, and community service, justice, diversity, and inclusion through advocacy and service. The winner is Abigail Weeks. She also is earning a bachelor's in environmental engineering. Congratulations, Abigail. We would now recognize and congratulate students, award-winning students within the Civil, Environmental, and Architectural Engineering Department. The first award is the department's Ketchum Award. This is awarded every May during the spring graduation to a civil or architectural engineering student, excuse me, and to two runners-up. These students have achieved high academic standing as well as contributed to educational activities. The winner this year is Natalie Anderson, who's getting a bachelor's degree in architectural engineering. Congratulations, Natalie. And we have two runners-up. The first runner-up is Kate Lane. She gets a degree in bachelor's in civil engineering. Congratulations, Kate. Well done. And the second runner-up is Owen Zukowski, who also is getting a bachelor's in civil engineering. Congratulations, Owen. I now ask Professor Rosario Ortiz to congratulate the winner of the environmental engineering.
Thank you, Professor Balaji. I would like to announce now the awards for environmental engineering students. The outstanding graduate overall for environmental engineering is awarded to the student that best exemplifies academic excellence in both classrooms and extracurricular achievements. The winner is Cassidy Cortright. I would like now to invite our student speakers to share a few words, both Cassidy and Natalie.
Hello, class of 2021, and congratulations. Finding our ways through CU Engineering has certainly been a community effort. So let's take the time to thank all of our friends, family, faculty, and staff who've supported us all along the way and have made this possible. Thank you all so much. I remember back in the fall of sophomore year when I first switched out of the College of Arts and Sciences and into the College of Engineering. I was immediately welcomed by a unique and passionate group of students and faculty who seemed to be truly motivated by bringing goodness to the world. I didn't really know what environmental engineering entailed when I first switched into the department, but I slowly became aware of not only the career opportunities and other amazing things to do, but also the small quirks of the major. Being an environmental engineering student meant enjoying the long walks between Fleming and the Engineering Center with friends, chuckling at Professor Joe Ryan's hydrolysis and sorption jokes, watching Professor Herodes eat the chalk, drawing from the enthusiasm of Professor Walker, and more recently, watching Professor Kasprzyak's cat on Zoom. These small details we remember complement the incredible community that's created within the Department of Civil, Environmental, and Architectural Engineering. It's a community that's motivated not by personal gain, but by helping others and improving the health of people and the environment. I've been thinking a lot lately about what the me of 4 years ago would think of the me of today. She wouldn't expect to see her graduating in the field of engineering or spending hours per week on a project making poop water drinkable. She may be overwhelmed by the idea of cruising the pressure and temperature tables, piling into Calc 3 office hours, or struggling through another OChem problem set. She would be amazed by the incredible peers who surround her every day, from those who always seem to find the right question to ask in class, to those who spend hours in the lab, to those who spend their time volunteering and using their engineering skills for the good of the community, and to those who manage to make every lecture more entertaining. She would certainly be surprised to find the ways her lifestyle has changed this past year and how she and her friends have managed to cope in difficult times. I hope you all take the time to think about how proud your freshman self would be of the person you've come today and how much you've changed in your time at CU Boulder. As engineering students, we learn the ins and outs of hundreds of equations. But as we're already starting to find out, some of these facts and equations don't always stick around with us forever. What I've come to find truly valuable in completing an engineering degree is the power of being comfortable in uncomfortable situations. We've repeatedly solved problems we didn't think we could solve and have found a sense of peace and trust in the challenge and discomfort that arises in our everyday lives. This ability to handle discomfort was put to the test even more within this past year when the world was put into lockdown and our lives changed drastically overnight. Now in spring of 2021, there's a newfound sense of hope, but also a much deeper awareness of the problems our generation needs to face. In the wild setting of this past year, we've all confronted the discomfort of not only online engineering school, periods of social isolation and personal challenges, but we've also faced the discomfort that comes with becoming more aware of the intersecting social, political, and environmental issues that exist within our nation and the world. As civil, environmental, and architectural engineers, it is our job to design for the good of the community as a whole. And in order to truly design for the whole community, we need to consider not only all social, economic, political, cultural, and racial groups, but also long-term impacts and environmental consequences of every decision. I believe that this class is graduating at a point of real societal transformation. And with that transformation, there's bound to be some pain and discomfort, which is something we no longer shy away from. With the skills and knowledge we've gained in CU Engineering, I have no doubt that this class will be a major component in facing these impending challenges. You're all truly amazing people, and I can't wait to see what you come up with. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Hello, everybody. I would like to start by thanking our department for selecting me to speak today. It's truly an honor to be able to address my peers as we begin this new journey in life. I'd also like to thank my family, both blood and found, for helping me get to this point, and the families of everyone here. I think the most important thank you goes to our faculty, though. The Department of Civil, Environmental, and Architectural Engineering is filled with amazing people who genuinely care about us as individuals. The number of times I've asked for additional meetings, asked for career advice, gotten help on weekends, and I've talked over difficult decisions with my professors and lecturers is astounding. You can tell our department goes above and beyond by these interactions alone. Much of what has made my journey at CU one that I will look on with fondness for the rest of my life is the interactions I've had with these people here. Staff that cares to remember your names, asks how you're doing, follows up with intention, and looks forward for your future. This experience would not be the same without this class. Our class. I don't know everybody graduating today, but I can say with confidence, I know our department as a whole. Students here have created a community, one that I have grown in and come to love. The number of work sessions in Bechtel, club meetings, and the amount of time in the engineering center lobby is astounding. I've adored every moment of it. I'm excited to see our names stamped on drawings, on future design awards, and on calls as we collaborate to build a better built environment. When I asked what I should be talking about today, I was told to tell about my journey and any advice I had for the graduating class. And with that, my first thought was, well, I am graduating class and I am in severe need of some advice. So instead of giving my own advice, I'd like to share some that I've gotten from different people along the way. First piece of advice is to keep learning. Don't just stay in your field. To be a better designer or engineer or person, you need to learn about the world around you. Study philosophy, read history, engage in culture. Witness the world around you from as many perspectives as you can to become a better designer, and better solutions will come to you. The other piece of advice I'd like to share that got me through this past year is that life will happen no matter what, and things will work out one way or another. Even if the first job does not fit, or you walk out of university unsure of your next plans, we are all equipped to move forward. We have a community we can lean on. Looking back at these past 4 years, I have no idea what happened. It was all way too fast. I went through my pictures to try and remember, but more than anything, I learned I need to take more pictures. I did find a couple moments though. I found working on the Habitat for Humanity house for building systems and materials. I found club meetings with all of you. And more often than not, I found pictures of spaces around campus for mechanics and materials, Loom 2, and energy efficient buildings. I found pictures of projects that went into reports, but stirred memories of silly moments working on them. Taking the FE exam showed that I didn't really remember all the content from those classes, but I'm filled with love for the people I took them with. These 4 years have taught me a lot though, even if I can't remember everything. 4 years of C4C is a little too much. The freshman welcome speakers were right about office hours. Having a comfortable office chair is incredibly important, and having an organized file system is a must. Most importantly, if you're willing to put the effort in and plan, you can achieve most anything. I can say that as a person with privilege, and I would like to recognize that not everybody has that. We all have a small bit of that now that we have an education. I know that there are many issues that we are facing as we step out into the world today, from the pandemic to climate change to racial justice, and for many around the world, political unrest. But we can tackle these issues together, bring in other voices, and we will have better solutions in a better world. Our class has faced a lot of adversity. Just this year, we had to adapt to COVID and later process the aftermath of a shooting on our doorstep. And with these trials, we've become more resilient. And I know you're probably tired of hearing that word. But when I say it, I mean we will be able to face our future problems and come up with creative, sustainable, and inclusive solutions. We will have empathy for others, and we will build a future that betters today's problems. I know the people walking out of here today are able to make a difference in this world, and I challenge you to be that difference. Thank you for these 4 years, and congratulations on this amazing achievement. I know this degree was hard-earned with many hours and long nights put in. So here's to regularly having weekends off in the near future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Natalie and Cassidy. We're now moving on to our PhD students. It is my great pleasure to present to you our PhD candidates. After receiving a BS degree requiring 4 to 5 years of rigorous study itself, somehow they decided that it was not enough. They have spent the last 3, 4, 5 years or even more in school beyond their bachelor's or master's degree. While during this time they have completed additional coursework, their primary focus has been on performing research to create new knowledge or technologies to improve society. Indeed, most of the material in the vast array of textbooks used by undergrads was initiated by somebody's PhD. And with that, I'd like to present to you our PhD candidates.
My now present the candidates for Doctor of Philosophy in Civil Engineering. Benjamin D. Abel. Catherine Chambers. Aaron Joseph Heldmeyer. Jiang Zhao. Douglas Alleman. Congratulations to all of you.
We now present the recipients of the Doctor of Philosophy in Environmental Engineering. Marina Nieto Caballero. Caitlin Jean Matos. Sabina Schell. Congratulations to all of you, and Sarah Toth, who was not here.
Congratulations to all of our new PhD graduates. We will now be announcing the master's, professional master's, and bachelor's degrees, beginning with the awards for our architectural engineering students.
Thanks, Fernando. At this time, we would like to congratulate our award-winning students in the architectural engineering major. The Architectural Engineering Outstanding Undergraduate for Community Impact is awarded to a student who has contributed to improving the architectural engineering program and its community through service and inclusive engagement. This year's winner is Malia Sharp. Congratulations, Malia. The Architectural Engineering Outstanding Graduate for Global Engagement is awarded to the student for outstanding engagement in the global arena. This year's winner is Natalie Anderson. Congratulations, Natalie. The Architectural Engineering Outstanding Graduate for Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, the JEDI Award, is awarded to a student who has enhanced justice, diversity, and inclusion through advocacy and service. And this year's winner is Charlotte Mitchell. Congrats, Charlotte. And finally, the Architectural Engineering Outstanding Graduate for Perseverance is awarded to a student who perseveres despite hardship by succeeding in the face of adversity, demonstrating the ability to learn from challenges while displaying a growth mindset in action. And very proud to announce that this year's winner is Cooper Kuntz. Congratulations, Cooper. We will now present the candidates for the Masters of Science and Bachelors of Science degrees of Architectural Engineering. Congratulations to all of you.
We would like now to congratulate our award-winning students from civil engineering. The Civil Engineering Outstanding Graduate for Academic Engagement. This award recognizes a civil engineering undergraduate student whose engagement with academics has elevated their own and other students' learning experience. The winner is Lene Johnson. Congratulations, Lene. The Civil Engineering Outstanding Graduate for Community Impact. This award recognizes an undergraduate who has contributed to improving the program and its community through service and inclusive engagement. The winner is Gary Fisher. Congratulations, Gary. The Civil Engineering Outstanding Graduate for Global Engagement is awarded to the student for outstanding engagement in the global arena. Congratulations to our winner, Jillian Garamone. The Civil Engineering Outstanding Graduate for Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, the JEDI Award. This award recognizes an undergraduate civil engineering student who has enhanced justice, diversity, and inclusion through advocacy and service. The winner is Mario Hansen. Congratulations, Mario. The Civil Engineering Outstanding Graduate for Perseverance. This award recognizes an undergraduate student who perseveres despite hardship by succeeding in the face of adversity, demonstrating the ability to learn from challenges while displaying a growth mindset in action. The winner is Dominic Renteria. Congratulations, Dominic. The Civil Engineering Outstanding Graduate for Wellness. This award recognizes an undergraduate civil engineering student who cultivates and promotes individual and community health and wellness by leading student engagement activities to encourage student connections and community building. The winner is Dustin Poss. Congratulations, Dustin. We now present the master's, professional master's, and bachelor's graduates from civil engineering. Congratulations to all of you.
We would like to now congratulate our award-winning students in environmental engineering. The first award is the Environmental Engineering Outstanding Graduate for Research. This award recognizes an undergraduate environmental engineering student who has demonstrated excellence through significant and impactful research. The winner is Claire Butler. Next is the Environmental Engineering Outstanding Academic Engagement Award. This award recognizes an environmental engineering undergraduate student whose engagement with academics has elevated their own and other students' learning experiences. The winner is Devin Lindsay. The Environmental Engineering Outstanding Community Impact Award. This award recognizes an environmental engineering undergraduate student who contributes to improving the EVEN program and its community through service and inclusive engagement. The winner is Isabel Sexton. The Environmental Engineering Outstanding Graduate for Justice, Equity, Diversion, and Inclusion is awarded to a student who has enhanced justice, diversity, and inclusion through advocacy and service. And the winner of this award is Abigail Weeks. And we now present the Masters and Bachelors of Environmental Engineering. Congratulations to all of you.
Congratulations to all of our graduates. So now I announce the faculty and staff awards. This is also at this time of graduation, we also recognize our excellent and outstanding faculty. The first, and as you see the names there, I will describe the awards. The Outstanding Faculty for Teaching Award. This is awarded to a faculty that demonstrated excellence in teaching, mentoring at all levels. And this year it's Professor Amy Javar-Nickwill. Congratulations, Amy. The Outstanding Faculty for Research Development is awarded to faculty that has demonstrated excellence in research development, new areas. And in this year, it's Professor Evan Thomas with his exceptional research on global engineering in developing countries, especially in Africa. The Outstanding Faculty for Early Career Research is awarded to a early career faculty who's demonstrated excellence in research. And this year it goes to Professor Kyrie Baker for her work on powered grids and reliability. The Outstanding Faculty for Service Award is given to a faculty that has demonstrated excellence in service. And this year, the winner is Kristen Mansfeld. Professor Mansfeld, I want to point out that this award usually goes to a senior faculty, but this year, Professor Mansfeld went way beyond call of duty in helping the campus and our community in monitoring COVID through his fantastic monitoring system that he set up on campus, and also the knowledge that he obtained and disseminating them to everybody. Again, thank you very much, Professor Mansfield. The Outstanding Faculty for Distinguished Achievement is awarded to a faculty who has demonstrated excellence in teaching, research, and service. And this year, it goes to Professor Rich Riguero. The Outstanding Staff Award is given to a staff member that has demonstrated excellence this year. And the award goes to Kelly Lewis, who's our graduate program advisor. I'm sure several of the students, graduating students here know her. She was exceptional last year, not to mention the transition to online, but also with other GPCs moving on to other things. She was instrumental in making sure everything was run on time so that you all could graduate without any issues. The last three set of awards are the most prestigious because these are awards given by the students. The students select them and make the award. And these are called Faculty Appreciation Awards. And we have one for each of our programs, Civil, Environmental, and Architecture. For the Architectural Engineering, the Faculty Appreciation Award this year, selected by the students, goes to Professor Jennifer Scheib. Again, thank you and congratulations, Jennifer. She also led the team that won the Solar Decathlon. I'm sure you saw and read about that in the news as well, and also saw the award ceremony where the team received the award from the Secretary of Department of Energy. The Faculty Appreciation Award for Civil Engineering goes to Professor Matt Morris. I'm sure a lot of the graduating students in civil engineering had him, and more recently in the senior design class this last semester. And finally, the Environmental Engineering Appreciation Award goes to Professor Carl Linden. Congratulations and thank you, Carl. Before I hand off to Professor Rosario Ortiz for his closing remarks, I have a couple of things to point out. One, the memorable event would not be possible without the meticulous, dedicated, and professional planning and organization of Joanne Yulo. Congratulations and thank you very much, Joanne. She's been doing this for several years now, and she does a fantastic job of orchestrating everything. And thank you once again. Assisted to her were the superb staff with equal dedications, especially Andra, and also our superb advisors, Erin, Tony, Maureen, and Kelly. Again, thank you all very much for making this a memorable event. In closing, I want to say that as you are embarking on an equally exciting journey to confront the challenges from a generational event, the world needs you to reimagine, reinvent, rebalance our physical world in harmony with nature and spirit. Just as Chad mentioned in his remarks of raising the bar, and then our student speakers mentioned the need to be curious and keep learning. I also want to say that raise your words, raise your knowledge, and raise your wisdom. In the beautiful words of the great poet and philosopher Rumi, raise your words, not voice, for it is the rain that grows the flowers and not thunder. So again, we know you are ready for this calling and will make us all proud. And my advice to you, like others, is keep learning, be curious, and go with your resiliency. Congratulations to the class of 2021. Go Buffs. And now I hand off to Professor Rosario Ortiz.
Thanks, Professor Balaji. Before we close this virtual ceremony, I'd like to take one last opportunity to congratulate everyone on behalf of the Department of Civil, Environmental, Architectural Engineering, and also from the Environmental Engineering Program. Congratulate all of you, the graduates and the families. As others have mentioned, we honestly wish we would have done this in person. This past year and a half have been quite challenging for all of us, but we made it here together. showing the strengths of the community that you're now part of and will continue to be a part of throughout your professional lives. We wish you the best of luck with your next adventure. And once again, congratulations reaching this milestone. Thanks, everyone.
This is your celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here. A celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Celebration. We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you